I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott.
And this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Red Mist Podcast, Season 2, Episode 9, the PNC Bank, Honda of Chip Ganassi Racing and Scott Dixon episode. Or for you NASCAR fans, the number 9 Coors Melling Ford Thunderbird of Bill Elliott and Elliott Racing. Also, I'd like to reach out and give a shout out to one of America's greatest heroes on his 83rd birthday today, the legend, Mario Andretti. Happy birthday, Mario.
Happy birthday from all of us at Red Mist Podcast.
Right. Someday Mario will be on with us, hopefully. That would be exciting.
That would be.
Right?
You know what? He may just come on. Who knows?
One of these days.
One of these days. On tonight's episode, we'll discuss NASCAR, the final race at Fontana.
Well, not the final race at the
2 mile. At the Super Speedway.
2 mile.
Yeah.
The Super Speedway. Because we're going to build a half mile something or whatever. Anyways.
Bristol and LA.
You're right, Bristol. I thought that was at the Coliseum.
Don't get me started.
Right. Anyways, and we'll discuss a fantastic weekend put on by Formula One, and their TV coverage overall was fantastic. Of 3 days of testing from Bahrain ahead of this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix opener. So exciting news there. We'll also discuss a little Indycar with the upcoming opener this weekend also at St. Petersburg. A nice street course. Always a fun time to start the season off. And little SRX news that dropped today. Mm-hmm. And we'll touch on
a lot of sports car
and some
news
sports
too.
car news. Yeah,
a lot of sports car news.
and Trans Am. So
yeah.
Let's dive into it. Nate, let's have the wrap up or the blow by blow or whatever happened in NASCAR.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, it was a little flopped this weekend because we actually started with the Cup Series because the Xfinity race did get rained out. It snowed out actually on the day prior. So it ended up being that the Cup Series would go to Fontana for one final time on the 2 mile speedway circuit, which has always produced great racing for NASCAR and in Indycar in some cases. But it's going to be, I am going to personally miss this. I think the racing that NASCAR put on last Sunday between all stages was actually incredible because, I mean, you have all this open racetrack you can race on and, you know, really make a move on the bottom, the top, either one, and really carry some momentum exiting the corners. So I personally really love this track and it's geez, man, I can't believe it's changing. And they sold, I think they sold a part of the land near the speedway, hence why they're shrinking the track to a smaller track. I believe it's a half-mile track, not entirely sure, but it is going to be a much smaller track compared to the 2 mile circuit, in which was ran last Sunday. And the speedway itself is getting an extra, I think, $500,000 to, I guess, better the facilities as well from the transaction. So that'll be cool to see how they use those funds there. But the race on Sunday, it was really, the racing was really intense, and Ross Chastain from Trackhouse Racing won both stages. So he's the first driver this season to win the first 2 stages. Not to sweep the whole race because Kyle Busch would come in clutch actually and win for the first time with RCR Racing, Richard Childress. And I got to tell you, I'm not surprised by this one bit. I was thinking to myself, I was wondering if Kyle Busch or Joe Gibbs Racing would be which team or side would get the first victory. And Kyle Busch was super strong at Daytona. And if you're asking me, a Brad Keselowski fan even, I think he should have won the Daytona 500. That had Kyle Busch written all over the place to win the Daytona 500. And he looked strong. He was consistently in the top 5 in this race at Fontana. And he showed up at the end, outdueling Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain for the win. And notable finishes, Kevin Harvick in his last run there, he finished 5th as well. I would even say Brad Keselowski, and I'm really shocked at Austin Dillon's result. That is something, because he's normally not this quick at these kind of speedways, so he might be a force, but I doubt it. If you're asking me, I think it's a fluke finish for Austin Dillon, not Brad Keselowski, of course, naturally. And but Ricky Stenhouse did get 13th, which is not bad. It's not exactly the kiss of death just yet. So I think it's going to be a really fun NASCAR season. I'm really curious to see how next week carries out. And I expect Kyle Busch to win at least 10 races this season, 8 to 10 races. He's on this is the revenge tour. It has to be, because for him to win this early it's pretty telling.
Okay. So, how do you consider it the kiss of death for Ricky Stenhouse Jr.? Well,
here I am. I was thinking maybe he might get another win, and then last week he suggested that was the kiss of death. I'm done. He's never gonna finish a race or not finish well anyways. And so 13th isn't exactly a make or break finish, but it's pretty darn close to the top 10, which is something to keep an eye on.
But he's locked into the chase.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, that is if there isn't more than 16 race winners.
But you just said
points.
You just said Kyle Busch is going to be on for a 10-win season.
So that pretty much takes 10. Takes Ricky's got 1. That's 11. So there's 30. How many races? 33. So there's 22 other races.
Right. But if you're looking at last season, Tyler Reddick, he got 3 wins in that car. And Kyle Busch is a way better driver than Tyler Reddick. I'm not trying to discredit Tyler Reddick at all.
We're just saying we're talking.
But look. You're going to see Kyle Busch on an absolute tear this season. But the wins, or if he's not going to win 8 to 10 races, he's going to have maybe 5 wins and afterwards 10, 15 second places. It's going to be an incredible season.
But he's locked into the chase now too with 1 win. So what's the incentive?
Ish. Yeah.
But someone who's been close to winning these past 2 races has been Logano. So
yeah. Logano. Wow, that's exciting.
Logano came in 11th. So
we had Bad Brad taking out Corey LaJoy. So that's all right.
Did I read it right that Logano took someone out on the last lap?
Huh? This weekend?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't think that was the case.
Logano,
the only thing I know about
misread something.
Well, the only thing I know about a Penske driver, apparently Ryan Blaney ran over a cat exiting turn 4.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's like what happens on a racetrack. I mean,
that's the only Penske news I heard.
The guys from Magnus hit a possum.
And Nicholas Latifi hit a groundhog. So.
Right.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And Alonso killed a bird.
Right.
Indy.
Yeah, he killed a bird.
Twice.
Right.
Yeah, that's the same corner.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
My God.
Right. Yeah, he had a double strike. All right.
Yeah.
So, wow, he hit a cat. Well, hopefully it wasn't a black cat.
It was a black cat.
Actually, didn't we watch a video last week of Spa, and one of the crashes that someone had was because a bird struck them.
Oh yeah, the bird. Yeah.
This is
like in the 60s.
Yeah. So open cockpits. So
open face helmet.
The driver got hit by a bird.
I think unfortunately he got killed too.
Yeah.
Oh, God rest his soul.
Kevin Harvick also hit a bird too. Actually, his onboard camera was.
Oh well, Bathurst. They have the freaking kangaroos jumping on the track.
Yeah,
which is always entertaining. In the 12-hour race.
Isn't there a race where a deer kind of hops across? No.
Well, at Lime Rock, I was at
I would have guessed Lime
back
Rock.
in the day at Lime Rock on the downhill, a deer came out of the woods. Now you know how they got the fence in now.
Yeah, now
There wasn't like that was because the fans used to be on that other side of the bridge where we all stand on the downhill. There was no fence in there.
Yeah.
So the deer came out and creamed just got creamed it was caught into the guy's.
Okay.
Went right in the driver's side.
All right, let's move on.
Car went off down the bottom of the hill.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
All right.
I think my dad was flagging that race at the bottom of the hill too. Oh,
Place
anyways.
for a good flagging story.
Oof. Anyways, or he was working one of the corners.
Put out the white flag for debris.
All right, so let's just take a quick look at the standings. We know the two that are locked in, but on a points level, Ross Chastain leads Logano by 1. Then that's a Bowman at 80, Harvick, Suarez. So Trackhouse is in the top 5. Good for them.
Right, and I would even look for Suarez to have a better year than last year.
I'm looking for both Trackhouse
momentum.
guys to take wins and get locked in. So that's not a thing. Somebody who is having a nice little turn for the season is Martin Truex Jr. He's sitting in just outside the top 10, 4 points behind. 4 points behind two of my favorites, Denny Hamlin and Bad Brad.
Bad Brad, there he is.
Yeah, well, let's hope Martin has a good weekend coming up in Vegas. So we have so what do we have next? The South Point 400 at Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas Motor Speedway is the next track on the calendar.
Okay.
And Bad Brad, he's won there before, and he can do it again.
Was that 20 years ago?
Not 20 years ago, like 8.
8. Okay.
Speaking of 8.
Anyways, that's history, man.
Kyle Busch.
Anyways, all right. Well, congrats to Kyle. Good for him.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't go near Mexico. So.
So one interesting stat about Auto Club Speedway. So Joe Nemechek got the first pole position there when they first went there, and John Hunter Nemechek won the Xfinity race, which was the last race at that race. So it's funny how it
on the big
finishes
track.
off.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So it's funny how it finishes off with Joe Nemechek and then ends with John Hunter Nemechek. So I thought that was a pretty interesting stat.
That's good news.
Sweet.
So, all right.
Shall we switch gears?
Literally, do we want to talk WEC first, or you want to talk F1?
Let's go WEC because we might run out of time doing F1. There's so much stuff.
Rabbit hole.
So with WEC, we're just talking about the entry list for the 24 hours that came out.
Yes.
For this year, the centenary race. This
Sold out.
Sold out. Yes, I'll be watching it on TV.
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention when it dropped,
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay. I just thought it was when they said WEC dropped the thing. I was just like, oh, I thought the regular season lineup. I guess I was wrong. But wow, 16 hypercars.
Yes.
Or LMDH cars. So let's.
That's insane.
So top class.
Let's just call it LMP1, whatever. Let's call it GTP. We'll call it all GTP.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. But this is the equivalent to back in the day when we had LMP1 with Porsche, Audi, and Toyota. We also had Peugeot.
Yes. Well, so the last time that
and we had Nissan. How could we forget the Nissan, the monster?
Nissan was in 15. But the last time that the car class count was even close to this was they had 11 cars in 2011. So it is great to see this amount of cars in the top class for quite some time. So, I mean, not to knock on Toyota, but good for them having won the past 5 years at Le Mans. But this is going to be a nice change of pace to see a lot of other manufacturers out there fighting for it.
Right, and notably, I saw Cadillac. I thought it would only be the two Cadillacs, but actually, there's also Action Express that's also racing.
Yes.
With one of the Cadillacs too. So I thought that was pretty cool to see that Cadillac has 3 bullets in the race.
Because Cadillac or Action Express has a bid because
They got one of the IMSA at large bids.
Yes, yeah.
And
Right,
actually,
gotcha.
the one bid I think they actually got Corvette's second GTE
Okay.
since they're only running one car. So
Yeah. So, anyways, the top class consists of where is it?
Isn't it 16 prototypes?
It's 16 prototypes. I believe there's 3 Cadillacs.
One fan wall.
Yes, 1 Van Wall.
is the Van
Just
Wall
for
in
your
there?
shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
made
yeah.
it?
Yes, it did.
Holy crap!
Yeah. Shockville News Racing. Don't worry.
Hold on. Here we go. All right. So we have 1 Van Wall, 3.
2
Oh my
Toyotas.
gosh, where is it? Wait, oh no, that's the wrong one. Here we go. All right, so we have 3 Cadillacs, 1 Van Wall, 4 Porsches, 4,
Wow.
2 Toyotas, 2 Ferraris, 2 Peugeots, and 2 Glickenhauses.
The cool thing about the Glickenhaus, though, like even though the Glickenhaus guys built the cars, Yost is going to actually run the team.
Yes, yeah. So Yost's history is
Audi.
I mean, yeah, most famously is their partnership with Audi.
Of recent.
And also
Of recent. But
yeah.
back in the day,
And
they were
Mazda.
they were Porsche.
Yes, that too. So it
Yeah, that's right.
but
They ran
then-
the Mazda program here in the States.
yeah, and most
Right.
recently with
But
with the
they,
that's what I was
Mazda.
they were a
thinking of.
long-time Porsche
Yes.
entrant.
Yep.
Reinhold Yost.
Yeah.
This guy's got the black hair. It's like kind of cool. About 3 feet high. Pretty
And then
badass driver.
yeah, so this is going to be fantastic to
it's
watch that.
Gonna be crazy.
There's also 24 LMP2 cars. So no, we are in no short of prototypes this year.
So just real quick on the, I love the Van Walls, Floyd Van Wall. Love that. So actually, the interesting thing with Porsche is we have 3 Penske Porsches.
Yes.
Right.
And then we have the Jota team, Hertz team.
Yes.
Those guys are no slouch, Jota.
No.
No.
Because
They've won in the LMP. They've won in the LMP2.
LMP2.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're a dominant
Yeah.
team in LMP2.
Very
so.
well run, very well
Yeah.
organized, and they get Ife Yay. Oh wow, they got him. Oh, he's pretty good. Antonio Felix da Costa and Will Stevens. That's a pretty good lineup, actually.
Yeah.
They get some good drivers there.
Yeah. Obviously, some drivers
Oh,
are still yet to be confirmed. But
did we see who is in one of the Peugeots?
Who?
yes. Yeah. I was just gonna I had a note of this. This is probably why he's not broadcasting anymore. But
Oh, this
It
is
is
Paul
Pool.
Teresta.
Pool.
Pool.
yes, he is driving for
Oh no.
Peugeot. So that is probably a reason as why he's not
like,
on the Sky.
The Action
Sports
Express
broadcast.
car, right? They got Pipo Durrani, no slouch. They got
No, he's fast.
Alexander Sims
Jeez.
and Jack Aiken. Like that's
That's a line.
Yeah,
That's a lineup.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And then
They could seriously get the podium
In the
with just that driver lineup
and
alone.
there's like the Felipe Nasser Porsche. So they haven't picked who's going to drive that car
yeah,
outside of Nasser.
so, some of the drivers are still to be announced.
You're
but,
right.
But as far as entries go, we have the list of all the teams that are in there.
Wow, that's the Kevin Estre, Andre Lauderer, Lawrence Van Tor. Whoa.
Which
Yeah.
one is that one?
Wow, that's the number 6 Porsche.
One of the Penske ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Jacques Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I mean, he's with Esteban Gutierrez and Tom Dillman. Again,
Gutierrez.
No, Gutierrez.
Gutierrez.
Sorry. And
not Formula
Gutierrez.
not Formula One driver.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just want to clarify that.
Yeah.
Different Esteban.
Jesus. Wow. That is just.
Yeah.
That is a murderous row of drivers. Really is.
Yeah,
I mean, there is some
is.
talent.
In
top class.
Yeah. Here's one.
Yeah.
Sebastian Van Bourdais. Sebastian Bourdais. Renger. Van de Zander.
Yeah.
And Dixie.
Jeez.
Scott Dixie.
Scott
All right.
Dixon's in
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's Chip's team. He likes winners.
Chip likes winners.
So
Yeah, that's why he did the Ford program, right?
yeah. I do want to say
a joke.
Toyota, even though with all these new teams that are in there, Toyota has unveiled a newer version of their car for this year.
Right. So there's an interesting thing that came out. Apparently, the LMDH cars are going to run on a different tire compound than the hypercars.
Oh, really?
Yes. Everybody's okay with this.
But it's all Michelin.
It's all Michelin.
Okay.
But apparently there's like a LMDH tire and then there's a hypercar tire. So I don't know how it probably has to do with however these things work. I mean, these things are just like rocket ships. But anyways, it's kind of interesting. That's one of the concerns Toyota has because they haven't really.
No, because I did see a thing of Toyota complaining about the
tires,
the amount of testing time.
Yeah, but
there's
something to do with the tires too. They were bringing up. It was on the Marshall Pruitt podcast today with Grant Goodwin and Stephen Kilby. So they were talking about that, and that's one of the things. But they're going to dig into it more.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that came up. But I'm going into that race. My favorite has to be Toyota.
Into which race?
Into the Le Mans 24 hours.
Okay.
And the reason is, essentially, they're the only ones that had any experience running these cars.
Yeah.
You know? So,
yeah.
And they had enough problems last year that they came back and won. So, I think,
I mean, actually, not to tout WC, but I mean they really only had Toyota. Nothing against Glickenhaus,
right?
And
Glickenhaus showed up and run.
Peugeot was more of a testing.
But you know what? They showed up and got
run. But I mean, and then they had Alpine too. So I mean, like, don't they? But this year, to make the racing, interesting, they've had to dial the Toyota back a lot.
So we'll see what happens when we get there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But there is something funky with the tires. I'll take a look at it for next week.
The other thing we should discuss next week too is I think how the power is delivered between the difference between LMDH and hypercar.
Yep.
Sorry, GTP and a hypercar.
Yes.
Because I believe it's different how they use the power units.
It is.
But anyways, this week we just want to focus on the teams that are the entry list that's been unveiled, the cars that are going there,
and then
some of the drivers there.
How many? 22 cars, I believe, and 24 cars in LMP2.
Yes, and then it's
wow, and this is jeez, and here's a wow, holy smoky wokies, wow, there are some driver lineups in this, holy crud. And
then there's also 21 GTE cars.
Nice to see Colin Brown will be driving.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And there's what?
Oh, I love it. If only the torpedo. Danny Kvyat. Yes.
Who's he running with?
He's running with Prema Racing.
Oh, all right.
Oh, that's right. I didn't see that actually.
Fantastic.
Wow. Oh, Robert Kubica. There we go. Just trying to see who else.
Yeah.
Holy crumb.
All right.
Pietro Fittipaldi.
Well, and more importantly, there's one innovative car.
No, we haven't got there yet. So
yeah. Hold on.
Hold on.
Just making sure that's not forgotten.
No,
It's not going to be forgotten, but I mean, it is what it is.
And guess the number.
And then the 21 cars we have in GTE. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways,
The one Corvette.
one Corvette with
Yep, number 33.
with Big Ben Keating.
Yeah. He's going to be the fast guy.
Nicky Katzberg. Oh, this is the kid, Nicholas Verone. This kid's quick. So that's good. I'm just trying to. Wow. The sad thing is, unfortunately, there's no Reese. Didn't make it.
Oh, they didn't.
No,
I thought they did.
And honestly, I think the reason there is like this race was oversubscribed, but you know, I think they're looking at, are you a full-time entrant in something? Had they won the IMSA Endurance Championship last year, they would have been in. So
Yeah.
little tough there for them, but hopefully they'll be back. They are on the wait list, so that's there. Wow, Proton. How many cars they got?
A lot.
3.
Yeah.
One's with Dempsey. Wow. There's still some holes in the driver lineup, so that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that should. Oh, the Iron Dames. They're running a Porsche this year. It's exciting. And then we have the innovative car, Garage 56.
Yes, sir.
And only Nate can get excited over the fact that they're running car number 24. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it had to have been one of the iconic numbers, right?
Yeah, they could have run 08 or something, you know? I mean.
08.
Yeah, like Clyde Torkel, you know?
Stop. Like,
Okay.
08? Like, no, come on, man. Like, 43. 3. 24, right?
No,
48.
we're not
It would have
running.
been one of those numbers. It would have been one of those numbers. And guess what? It's 24.
It was going to be a Hendrick number. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, yes, yeah.
In theory, it should really.
Guess what?
It should
It's a
really.
24.
It should be 48
Eh,
because JJ's in it. So
sure, but I would also argue 5 because that was the first car to win. Hendrick, hang on. If the 5 car was the first car to win for Hendrick,
Was that with
Jeff Bodine?
Oh yeah, Jeff Bodine. Texas Terry drove that car, you know.
He did.
Yep.
He did. He sure did.
Yeah.
So did.
Schrader drove the 25 car. All right, enough of that. Enough of NASCAR stuff.
Ricky Craven.
Now, if we look at the, oh yeah, here's the reserve list. So Reese is 3rd on the reserve list, 2nd in GTE AM.
Who are they behind?
Spirit of Race, who have a Ferrari, and then the Dragon Speed guys.
Okay.
Again, Dragon Speed's running in. They part-timed it last year, so that's part of the reason why. A lot of what's down here is a lot of the part-time teams that really should have kind of looked at running full season last year. I mean, Reese, I don't get Ferrari not paying for that.
Well,
but
I mean, the other thing we've speculated is if Ferrari decides to do customer cars, would Reese be running one of the cars over here?
Might. Yeah. All right, so that wow, that's gonna be fantastic. Anything? So you got and then Joda's gonna be they're gonna do their livery this week, right, Christian?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Which is
tomorrow. So when this episode
very
comes
exciting. Exciting to see that.
Yeah. Have a nice big Hertz logo across it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Thank you to Roger for sponsoring the team. Somehow, or working his insight into that.
I do want to touch on Toyota's newer version of their car this year. They did lose some weight out of the car to go down to where the minimum weight is in the rules. So they're down to 1,400 kilos or almost 200 or 2,300 pounds is the weight of the car. And then they're still running a 3.5 turbocharged V6 internal combustion engine that puts out about 700 horsepower, and combined with an electric motor that has almost 270 horsepower with that. So in total, you're just shy of 1,000 horsepower right there. Although if it's like LMDH, they're only able to output a maximum number of horsepower in combination of the two. So if the maximum horsepower is 900 and they can do more than that, then they're just limited to that. So they can use the power however they please. I will double check on that for next week though.
Cool.
But yeah, in terms of some noticeable changes that you can see, looking at the front of the car, there's some added dive planes on the front corners, towards the, and then also underneath in the middle of the car, you can see newer vents that they've added to help with cooling, and a new headlight setup that they or design that they have for it. And then it seems on the rear of the car that they've shrunk the rear wing a little bit, or in terms of their end plates have gotten smaller. But your 6 drivers for the team are still Mike Conway, Kamui Kobayashi, Jose Maria Lopez in the number 7 car, and then in the number 8 you got the 3 other drivers: Sebastian Buemi, Brendan Hartley, and Ryo Hirokawa.
All right, and then also today, just before noontime today, broke.
Yes.
The Izzato Fraschini Le Mans Hyper Cup.
Yes.
broke cover, and
Yeah.
this is exciting. I like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. So similar.
So this automaker is a very small Italian boutique automaker from this is got, and like everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's like years ago. Well, in the early 1900s, they were one of the leading manufacturers of cars in Italy. They won the Targa Florio. The name's been around. Somebody recreated branded the name, and now decided that they're going to go Le Mans Hypercar. And I think they're also building some boutique road cars.
Yeah.
So when we say boutique road cars, we're talking like Koenigsegg.
Yeah.
All right. So Glickenhaus does the same thing.
Yes.
Okay. So they all do things. The car is going to be, it's obviously being built in Italy. It's going to be run by Vector Sport out of England. So that which is a good team.
Yeah.
So
and this is somewhat like how, even though Porsche has designed the cars, Penske runs the team.
Right. And
So
the other thing is
idea.
the car is also being done through Michelotto, which is tied with Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the car is this is similar to what's going on at Dallara, where the BMW and the Cadillac.
Yeah.
It's the Cadillac, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the BMW and the Cadillac are both done by Dallara.
Yeah.
Now, Multimatic was supposed to do the Porsche and the Audi. They're only doing the Porsche.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do the Ford. Anyways. Possibly. So this is pretty cool. So this car is now, they're not planning on, this car will go through the homologation process.
Yes.
With the hope of running at the end of the year and looking forward to next year.
Yeah, so that they're on a race-by-race basis.
Race-by-race basis.
For 2023.
Right. 3.
Once they've been homologated.
And if people think that this is like kind of a joke, they have a budget right now of $100 million. Euros, sorry.
Yeah. I would kind of attribute this type of car and team to what Glickenhaus has done.
Yes.
Right.
And they've got obviously they got a bankroll here of 100 million euros, of which they've used 30 million to develop the race car. Mm-hmm. They are producing what they call the Tipo 6 Pista track. They're doing 2. The Tipo 6 car, which is their street car, and then the Tipo 6 Pista, which is a track only car. So that's how they're getting, creating this thing. So this is like
right.
Pagani, right? Pagani.
What?
When you're talking these types of car makers.
Yes, it's they're your very
Conan's-
small
Conan's
luxury
Seg,
brand
yeah,
cars.
Conan's Seg.
It's not Ferrari, because Ferrari is one of the larger
the
ones
larger
of these
ones.
ones, but
small
you have
Pagani-
these small luxury brand car makers.
It's Pagani,
That's-
right?
That's what. Yeah, there's Pagani.
Right. That's the one Lewis drove around Monaco, right? That was his everyday. That was his everyday driver at Monaco, because you need a car to drive around Monaco.
Yeah.
That way he stays green. Hashtag blessed.
Team LH.
Right. Okay. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Just kind of moving on. In American racing news over the weekend, we had the Trans Am Series was down at Sebring, kicking off their annual grind, which doesn't seem to starts in February and doesn't seem to end until November.
Mm-hmm.
But Matty Brabs got the win in the Chris Dyson Racing, one of the Chris Dyson Racing Mustangs. Unfortunately, Chris had a little bit of a power problem.
Even though he did put it on pole.
Justin
didn't?
Marks put it on pole.
That's right.
Yeah, come on.
Team Trackhouse.
That's exactly
Team
right.
Trackhouse. So unfortunately,
Justin Marks.
Justin and Chris had the same kind of power problem. But one thing happened to Chris that didn't happen to Justin. Apparently, Boris didn't see him and kind of clouded him a little bit. So, anyways, that happens. But so Matty Brabham took the win. So pretty cool. Anyways,
Awesome.
And Rafa Matos, there's a name from the past. Man, he's just popping up in Trans Am 2. He took the win in Trans Am 2. Adam Andretti, I believe, finished second. Let me just, and this is Adam is John Andretti's brother. Yeah, Adam finished second, and so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, anyways, Paul Menard's back.
What?
Paul Menard is back.
Paul Menard.
Paul Menard.
Paul Menard, NASCAR driver.
The
Brickyard
former NASCAR
400
driver.
winner.
Yep, Brickyard 400 winner, and son of John Menard.
Yep.
He's a teammate with Boris Said.
Of all drivers.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic. Wow, look at that.
Trans Am?
Yeah, Trans Am 1, TA 1.
Oh my god.
Wow, that's pretty
He'll
cool.
actually do really good actually. I
Well,
think.
Paul Menard, he did grind his. He did start in that. All right, so let's move on to. Oh, one last thing, really quick, and then we'll move on to Formula One. So for this, I'm getting excited for this. Thursday Night Thunder.
Oh,
SRX.
Yes. Oh yes.
First off, SRX, congratulations on your website. That is fantastic. It's got some great headshots of stuff, but what a star-studded lineup of drivers. Obviously,
Where do we begin?
led by Mr. The Smoke, Tony Stewart.
Right.
We have Ernie Francis Jr. And all-time favorite here, PT, Paul Tracy.
Is there?
Nate's hero, two of Nate's heroes, Michael Waltrip and Helio Castroneves. Then we so on a part-time.
Sean, did you know they're both Dancing with the Stars
Yes,
contestants?
and part-time,
Did you know that?
and I don't. Helio, I believe, is part-time, and the same with I believe
Michael Waltrip.
Michael Waltrip. I believe he's.
Yeah. Well, Ryan Hunter race full time.
Well, yeah, I haven't got there yet. I'm just kind of going through this. So we have Haley Deegan, who's going to be doing part-time because of obviously her NASCAR Truck Series races of Clash. We have Wild Bill. And
Awesome Bill.
from Dawsonville. Well, Wild Bill, too, when he was early in his career. But Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Bill Elliott's going to be in it. All right, here's a sleeper. This guy could sleep. I think didn't he win this the first year? Bobby Labonte?
Who?
Didn't he win it the first
Oh
year?
yeah.
Did
yeah.
he win the
won a race,
championship?
yeah.
Or no?
No.
He didn't win the championship?
Not yet.
Didn't Marco win it?
No, Marco won it
Marco.
last year. But then we have TK's coming. Tony Kanad.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, sir. Oh my God.
And then full-time in it, you're defending SRX champion Marco Andretti.
yes.
And here we go. One of Nate's heroes, Greg Biffle.
There you go.
And then I believe Peyton Sellers, he's a short track legend, I guess. I don't.
For the record, Greg Biffle's not my hero.
He is. He is.
No, he's not. I have multiple reasons why I'm not a fan of his.
Oh, I'm going to be a fan of his.
He screwed himself over from winning a Daytona 500
right.
by just staying behind Matt Kenseth in 2012.
Then we have,
but I won't elaborate further.
We have RHR, Captain America, and then the Rocket, Ryan Newman.
Hello, Newman.
Oh, Nate, here you go. If only you could get Bad Brad in this.
Oh, I know. See, that's an actual
now you
champion.
Matt Kenseth.
Yeah. See?
Here we go. This is wait a minute. Okay, Chase Elliott's going to be in this. Is he going to run the same race with his dad?
Has to.
Oh,
he has to be.
One of them's got to take each other. They got to take each other out.
yeah,
All right.
right. Oh my God.
Then
Dave Blaney and Ryan Blaney.
No, and they're back again this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Again, so we'll probably talk about this more when it gets closer, but the season starts in July on the 13th
at Stafford Motor Speedway in Stafford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And there will be one more race in New England at Thunder Road
in
Vermont.
Yeah.
And that is, I believe Thunder Road that's the track Ken Squire owns.
Yeah. I did hear something
and Jack
Arute as a guest.
Jack Arute's family owns Stafford.
The other thing is the race in Vermont is the week after Stafford.
Stafford, yeah.
So there's two SRX races in New England back to back.
And I know the Stafford race has a huge contingent of the full and part-time crew.
Yeah.
But again, all these races are going to be televised Thursday night, I believe, on ESPN.
If not ESPN. Yeah, it is ESPN.
It's going to be on ESPN.
Well, is it the same announcing crew, Alan Bestwick and Connor Daly, or?
That's a great question, Nate. That would be fine with me.
I'd be cool with that.
I'm all for Alan Bestwick. I love Alan Bestwick. So let's. It doesn't have anything on the TV side of it. I'll dig into that for a future episode. But yeah. So, anyways, that was cool that they came back, and that's going to be fun. Anyways, that'll be great for Thursday nights. That'll be entertainment. It's almost going to be like Thursday Night Blunder in the off season, but more professional. All right, so that covers all of our sporty car and fun racing news. So let's talk F1.
Let's.
3 days of testing. What did we learn?
Well,
Aston Martin is going to win the championship. That's what we learned after all of this.
So what we did really learn was that Aston Martin has significantly improved. Now, whether or not that translates into a race weekend, we'll see. We shall see. Hopefully this weekend, but the car has significantly improved.
And again, timesheets are irrelevant in this
because
we also don't know who else is sandbagging. Because for all we know, maybe McLaren could have been sandbagging the whole time.
Right.
I kind of doubt that.
McLaren had issues, not so much pace of car, but they had a lot of mechanical issues that they were in and out of the pits all weekend. The team that might have been sandbagging was Ferrari, because
Well, I guess Mercedes too.
Well, no, I don't think Mercedes was sandbagging. Ferrari was running heavier fuel loads all weekend.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just to let you know,
we won't know until the first qualifying session.
And
if the way it always is.
If I was a betting man, I would have done the exact same thing that they did and just run the car heavy all weekend. Why show your cards?
Right.
Now, Red Bull, I think Red Bull, regardless, I think there's more in that car. I hate to say it, but
yeah.
I think Mercedes is still out to lunch. Not as much as they were, but they're out to lunch.
Like third best or fourth best? Would you say?
That's what I'm toying with. They're in that 3 through 6 group.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You think other teams have caught them?
Aston Martin, maybe.
I just don't think the car is. I don't think the car is right, and
Okay.
I seriously, I'm questioning that side pod that they're using. The lack
It
of
has
side
to be.
pods.
Yeah, all the other teams have it, and these engineers aren't just slackers. You know what I mean? Like, there's something to it, right?
They worked on getting the porpoising out.
Well, okay. Let's start with that.
Right.
From last year to this year, the floor has been raised 15 millimeters.
Right.
So you're already relieving some of that issue.
Right, and Toto's still complaining that Red Bull can run it at. So when they raised it 15,
Yeah.
Yep.
Toto's upset still that Red Bull can still run it at the new height, at
Yeah.
the minimum new height. He's PO'd that Red Bull can still run it there. I mean, it's like, well,
Fix your car.
fix your car.
Change your car. You've got a problem. Change your f***ing car.
That's all there is to it.
It's just comical
It's
with
just
him.
the
It's
actor.
really comical with him. But anyways, so I still think I think the design concept of the no side pods I think is what's really hurting that car.
Yes and no.
That'd be my guess.
I don't know if it's the side pods directly because I'm not. From what I can tell, there's no hole going from the inlet of the side pod to down underneath in the floor.
Did you see how their car comes in? Like their car has like it comes in. It's
Oh no,
the other guys.
I understand
the other
that,
cars don't do that. The other teams don't do that. So
Correct.
everyone was copying somebody. So the two teams that everyone was copying was Red Bull and Ferrari.
Yes.
Okay. No one was copying Mercedes. So obviously people went down that rabbit hole and said it's not going to work.
Well, my guess would be with the amount of time Mercedes spent
Yes.
initially, right? Because they would have had a lot more time
So they've-
to do this to explore this
they've
concept.
spent more money on that than they've done catering.
They've
They have wings.
they spent enough time through that hole that maybe by initial research you wouldn't find the gain, but unless they've gone a bit further with the amount of time that they've found whatever it is that leads them down that path,
Right.
then fine. What's interesting to me is if you look back on the rear bodywork right before you get to the rear wing, it's pretty much like a deck on the back. Now, different teams have had different ways of funneling the air back there, but the one rule that I did see that was noted was there was something changed into how it looked like how the exhaust, where the exhaust is angled out the back, it can't have an aerodynamic advantage.
Gotcha.
To producing downforce, because obviously if you have a temperature difference and a pressure difference, you can manipulate the airflow that way. So they're not allowed to do that. So by from my interpretation of what they all seem to be doing with this flat deck on the rear bodywork, it seems like they're just pushing the air higher up rather than letting that exhaust opening have any kind of influence on where that air is being directed.
Yep.
But like you mentioned, Mercedes doesn't have that kind of style, so it is it is kind of interesting or at least from their side pod. So it is curious to see if any of the airflow coming over the top of the car isn't getting that effect with the way that they've gone about it. Okay. So as far, I mean, the side pods too, it is also, yes, there is aerodynamic advantage, but the main purpose of that hole on the side pod is for cooling.
Right.
So if they don't have a wide hole, then that means they don't really need that much cooling on the inside.
Right.
Which is fine. But if they're not seeing the aerodynamic advantage, and maybe they could have also said that there was a weight benefit too.
Right.
Because it is less material.
Well, they
so.
do seem to be hung up on the weight thing because they went with the carbon color of the car and stuff.
Yeah, just all black, all carbon.
All black, yeah. But I don't think it's still right. So
no, and it's definitely an aerodynamic issue.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have had this porpoising issue still.
Yeah, I think
or comparatively to everyone else across the board, porpoising has gotten better.
Yeah. So if you look at
if
we look at the rest of the, it was good. A lot of the teams did a lot of miles and a lot of laps, which was good.
Yes. I have numbers.
Which was ahead of last year because the cars essentially are the same. There's tweaks.
Yeah. So
the teams have a year underneath their belt with the car, so which is great. So it was good to see. Williams was able to get it up into the middle in places in terms of times. Haas looks to be competitive in terms of the midfield, which is basically that's where they have they got the advantage. They can spend more time in the air.
Yeah, that was one thing that I was really that kind of caught me off and realized what this cost cap area is. When you go to look at innovations, and new car designs, new liveries, when a car launch comes out, you want to look at the smaller teams now because that is where all the development is coming from.
And you also want to look at the smaller teams on the pit wall too. I'm gonna just say this. I just want to say one thing. I applaud them.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't need 72 guys on the pit wall.
No. But the interesting point the interesting point that Sam Collins pointed out, they saved $250,000. However, that's in transportation, which isn't under the what gets classified as in the cost cap salary.
They were able to take that $250 and use it elsewhere.
They were able to use it in that cost cap salary because they didn't exceed it and they didn't even come close. So they were basically using more.
I'm just saying you don't need this it's like I still don't get why you got 19 guys out there, but anyways, you can easily do it back. They can just stand in the pit garage.
Well, that's what they did.
Yeah. So anyway, good for them.
Yeah.
But yet they were the butt of the joke about that. I'm like, this is just like, okay, Twitter trolls, like enough,
Right. They're able to find areas to spend money more efficiently.
Well, that's right, and they spend it probably in the wind tunnel or whatever. But good for them. I guess disappointments. Obviously, McLaren.
Yeah.
And Alpine. I would say Alpine.
There
was cars. The only car that didn't improve in last year's times.
I was expecting more from them.
They're quiet.
Yeah, but I was expecting more.
I didn't see much attention on them at all.
Yeah,
and it wasn't because they.
No, AlphaTauri just went out and ran.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fine. So
I would even say at this point, Nick DeVries is already the team leader.
I would agree.
Because he's already he's going to change the car to what he wants.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
And he's overworking the engineers.
Well, and
on what he wants.
And look, DeVries he's a rookie in F1, but he's not.
He's not.
He's not new to the top level.
He's been
in 4 or 5 different cars.
He's been a world champion in Formula E.
No, sorry, he's done that, but my point is he's been with
F2.
Mercedes,
he's got
and hanging around in the paddock for the past couple years.
He's driven in Le Mans. He knows how to drive cars. So I mean, he's not he's not coming up out of Formula 2, and he's been sitting around testing cars,
and not just out of F2, but rushed through the ladder system to get to F1.
So Nate, I'd have to agree 100% with you on that.
But the driver that did lead the most mileage over the course of the 3 days is young Fernando Alonso.
Fred.
He ran 270 laps.
Yeah.
I know. He did a lot, but
Yeah.
Have they figured out that Fred was the one driving the car that hit Lance?
I told you last week it was Coda that broke the camel's back for me.
yeah.
Yeah. Fred took him out, and then Fred took him out in a bike accident.
But Alonso
jeez,
did
that
complete
name.
all.
And we still don't have any updates yet.
No, so far it's Felipe Drugovich.
Drugovich will be substituting in for him.
Well, that's if he can't drive.
So far it's looking that way.
Yeah, it looks like that way, and it's the.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's been no confirmation.
The rumor is that
he broke both wrists.
Yeah, he broke both, and it's looking like he'll be out for Bahrain and probably Saudi Arabia.
He went to the hand guy, the hand specialist that all the MotoGP guys go to, because in MotoGP those guys.
Oh yeah.
Like besides breaking their backs and stuff.
Animals.
I mean the thing. Yeah, they are animals. It's the hands, and they get they get the arm pump thing, and they got they break. So they go and there's a guy in Spain, a doctor in Spain that's like does all this work, and I think this is the same doctor that Magnussen went for his hand surgery. They kept him out of Daytona for the 24 hours.
Oh.
So, but this guy is supposed to be the hand doctor guru. So I just can't see him. I don't see how you can get in.
Well, yep. We'll see how
like
time
a
will tell.
MotoGP bike. Basically, it's you throttle, right? You're not turning the bike is the bike turns by leaning. Okay, so it's basically can I apply the throttle and grab the brakes and the do all that, because the clutch is with your foot and the shifting's with your foot. So it's just the clutch is on your hand, and then everything else is sequential after that. So I mean the MotoGP guys can get away with a little bit more. I just don't know how you wrestle a car and make
in F1 they have the luxury of.
Yeah, I know the power steering, but it's still not.
Yeah, right. No. It's I know.
It's fatiguing.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The race is 2 hours almost.
Yeah. So
it's a lot.
I don't know. So we'll see what happens. So I obviously wish Lance the best, but
right. It's unfortunate timing.
It is unfortunate timing.
Yeah.
It is, but I also want to see what Felipe Drugovich can do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it'll be a good opportunity.
You know what I mean?
I'm
like with maybe a really good car too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a big fan. I'm a big proponent of him. I like him. He came over. He did an IndyCar test. I wish some more of these guys would just bring whatever money they're bringing, just bring it to IndyCar and drive. I mean, I just sitting around waiting for someone to get sitting around waiting for someone to get hurt.
Yeah,
it just seems ridiculous. Anyways, so but overall,
isn't that the crazy thing? That's what the reserve driver role is.
Or maybe get some more teams on the grid.
But more teams on the grid. Thanks.
Yeah. Toto.
Yeah, at least 3. Yeah. 6 cars.
Anyways,
yeah, Penske's next.
Yeah, Penske shows up. I want to see Toto join.
Porsche, right?
Yeah, I really want to see him.
That'd be the next team.
Yeah. I think Roger's going to take him over his knee and smack him. It's going to be like, who's your daddy?
Shatter his kneecaps.
No. He's going to spank him and go, who's your daddy? Anyways, sorry. I just can't really. Toto.
I wonder how that
I'm really
that room would have been.
I can really
if we had a little bit of
If Roger was in there, it would have been all corporate until he got outside, and then he would have F-bombed him.
Yeah.
Imagine Chip in there.
God.
Chip might have put him through the wall.
Through like 3 walls.
That scene was a joke.
Imagine Rick Hendrick in that.
Dude, he would put so much money into it, and so many good drivers.
No. I'm just saying, Nate.
I'm not the reason.
Nate, I'm just
talking.
Chevrolet
gets into Formula
No. I'm just talking about being in the
personalities.
room. Personalities in the room.
If you had the GTP team bosses in that room,
Shank.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what 4 guys he'd hang out with.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the 3 guys Shank would hang out with. It's Gunther, Fred, and Bernardo.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
That's what
all three
Shank.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh God, imagine the four of them. Oh,
Yeah.
that would be awesome. Anyway, so I'm kind of excited. You know, we're gonna move right into that. That'll be kicking off on Friday for practice, Saturday for qualifying and practice 3, and then Sunday's race, 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yes.
And be on ESPN here, or the F1 TV app,
Yep.
or
Sky Sports.
ESPN streaming. No, Sky Sports, no.
Yes. Well,
Sky Sports, it will not be on. I am not listening to Lights Out and away we go.
that's the ESPN broadcast here in the States.
Oh, yeah, that's the ESPN code.
But
Yeah.
But-
no,
but
I know,
There's
yeah.
big news coming on the F1
Hold
TV broadcast.
But on ESPN, it's advertised as commercial free.
It is commercial free.
So that's
So
nice.
plus one.
yeah,
Plus one to that.
Them. Yep.
So
Yep. So
Better than NASCAR IMSA.
yep. F1 TV is going to have some new play-by-play stuff. It's coming out. There, some new folks are joining the booth. Maybe
because we have to have some replacements for.
maybe Davide.
Is it James Hinchcliffe and Danica Patrick?
Oh, Hint should be nice.
Actually, yeah, Hinch would be interesting. Actually, speaking of Hinch, they
Right.
so a rule tweak for 23 is they're talking about no tire blankets on the wet weather.
Oh
tires.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and there's been one person that's been very
people-
vocal
Wait a minute.
about
They're
this.
also aren't they talking about lowering the tire temperature on the regular tires too?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah, because somebody
So the
somebody
complaint from people in the F1 paddock is this is going to make it dangerous because you won't have the tires right in the correct operating range and all that jazz.
here we go.
And
what did Hinch
and
say?
the other claim is that they're using more fuel, which this is where Hinchcliffe chimes in.
Was this on
and
him
says-
and Rossi?
No, this was he tweeted this.
Oh, he tweeted.
Yeah.
I'll have to go find this.
Yeah. He said it's kind of ridiculous that you're concerned about 1 to 2 laps of getting heat into the tires, because if you can't drive it, then wouldn't that showcase the skill of the driver on the outlap?
So
And then the
let me-
other point was the rebuttal to the more use in fuel, which he has seen data that says otherwise, because you're on colder tires, so that means you're not as full throttle
Right.
around the lap,
right.
so you're not asking for more fuel. Yes, it's a longer lap time, but you're not at the higher RPMs.
Yeah.
So
Now, quick question: does IndyCar use the ovens?
No,
Okay, so
IMSA doesn't. NASCAR doesn't.
hold on. So
No other racing.
so
well, not no other racing, but
no, wait a minute.
there's-
Did WEC do away with the ovens?
I'm
Because
not
they
su- I'm not
WEC
sure.
had them when we were at Le Mans. They had them
But
because they
Point-
smell.
point being,
Really?
there's
yeah.
been- yeah.
Yeah. It's like Nate. You walk by. I mean, when you're in the paddock, all you can smell is
It's
rubber.
burnt rubber.
Is rubber baking?
I mean, really
Okay,
real
alright.
easy way is to just put a tire out in the sun.
Yeah,
and just let
yeah.
it sit there.
So
Well, there you
So,
go.
all right. So IndyCar doesn't use. IndyCar does not use the tire blankets
Yes.
or ovens. Okay, so they are probably the second fastest. Formula One cars say the fastest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And IndyCar is definitely like second fastest, right?
For the sake of this argument, we'll go
LMP1
there.
or
No,
I guess GTP.
No, because Rossi said
No.
these are the second fastest cars. That is,
Okay.
IndyCar is the second fastest because Rossi said. I just was like a jerk.
IndyCar is quicker than
so-
GTP right now.
These guys, so we all know who it is. We know we know what team it is that's complaining.
Oh, who could it be?
Oh wait, I don't know, Christian. Gee,
Yeah.
who could it be?
Anyways,
Team
Oh God.
Team LH.
look,
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
these guys really
Yeah.
like these guys are supposed to be the best, yet they're saying that they
They
can't
were.
adapt.
well, and then they're also saying, and then again, in a sport that says we're all about sustainability in the environment.
Right.
Getting rid of tire blankets.
Yeah, that poison the atmosphere.
Well, and just the cost to lug them around the planet,
and
right?
just the cost to fire them up,
right?
All right.
All weekend,
and then, and if it's less fuel you're burning,
oh god,
right?
Anyways,
but no,
and let alone being sponsored by.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was trying to I saw what team it was, and I'm like, here we go.
I think main point from Hinchcliffe's tweet. There is plenty of other series that don't use it.
Yeah.
And everyone is fine.
How about this? Grow a pair.
There's also reports too that Pirelli would most likely be adapting the tire compound to fit a tire that isn't going to have tire blankets on.
Jesus, like these guys.
So
like they got power steering.
Is Mercedes the only complaint?
Every team will complain about something.
Something, yeah.
Right. So again, just because we hit out at Mercedes, every team does this.
But
right?
but see, Mercedes makes it easy because
their
team principal won't shut his mouth.
Correct.
And their two drivers just think that they're like the cheese. Yeah. One hasn't even one still needs to figure out if I honestly he needs to. Is he ever going to shave? Like grow hair to shave? Not Lewis. No. Lewis has a little goatee.
Yeah.
The other one, the snitch. And then Lewis is just like, oh man, it's dangerous. I'm like, dude, this is motor racing. Like bullfighting is dangerous too. As the great Tommy Kendall said, when someone said to him it's dangerous, he goes, yeah, get a dog.
Yeah, that was Scott Pruitt.
I mean, that's anyways.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Right,
Sean.
Let's move on so we can wrap this up. Let's get to our picks.
Yeah.
All
right. Are we just?
We're gonna do top 3 for Formula 1 and a winner for IndyCar.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
So my top 3 for F1 is going to be Max, followed by the 2 Ferraris, Leclerc and Sainz.
Okay.
I think first of the race of the season, I think it'll be pretty carryover from the previous season.
Okay.
And then obviously the rest of the grid will sort itself out. My dark horse, I'm going to go off board and not pick Aston Martin, but I think Bottas in the Alpha.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
All right. Nate, do you have yours?
The Ferrari teams have come up.
Oh, well, just wait till you hear this. Okay, so normally the first race has a lot of retirements, right? Or the most retirements is what would be my guess, right? Coming into an F1 season. So I think what you're going to see is the Aston Martin surprise, and I think what you're going to see is Red Bull is going to not retire twice like they did last season, and Max Verstappen is going to take the victory. I think they are going to be caught off guard by Aston Martin's surprise pace, and I really think that's going to be a factor. Ferrari's going to continue their way, and I'm going off tangent, aren't I? But okay, so second place, I would see Charles Leclerc. So you're going to see Max, Charles Leclerc, but I think that third place is actually going to be a surprise Fernando Alonso, who's actually going to grab third. And then my dark horse, I think, is going to be Kevin Magnussen. I think he's going to really continue his momentum from last year, not only getting a pole, but this was this place of his best result. And I think that's just going to continue. And the Haas is only getting better. It's not getting worse. So I think you're going to see Kevin Magnussen really show up as well.
All right.
Thank you, Nate. Okay.
Dad, your picks?
My picks. I'm going to go Max.
Okay.
I'm going to go Carlos.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go Fernando.
Yeah.
And my dark horse, I know this is going to surprise a lot of people. My dark horse is going to be Lewis.
Okay.
That's a dark horse?
Hey,
I'm not. I don't think Mercedes is in a position to win a race outright.
Okay.
All right.
So
All right.
we've put the kiss of death, and Max's car will retire.
Right, Max's car.
Which means
Right.
Checo will win.
Checo's gonna win.
Yeah,
Checo's
it's gonna win. Yeah,
right.
and Fernando's second. Right.
Okay.
So.
All right, let's go. Let's really quickly. IndyCar is opening up at St. Pete. I know we haven't really talked much about it. That kind of crept up on us, but we'll get into it next week. I think the WEC news that kind of really overshadowed a lot of stuff. Plus, it was on top of the Formula One stuff. But so we're at St. Pete. Typical IndyCar. It's wide open.
Yeah. A lot of different drivers could win this race.
I'll pick Rossi.
With McLaren, okay.
Wow.
The only McLaren success this
Wow.
season, Sean.
Wow. No, that's I like that.
I like that too.
I like that.
Don't get me wrong. I like Rossi, so that's
I do too. I do too.
He's my
very
driver.
transparent.
I do too.
But
Yeah.
unfortunately, luck has not been on his side.
Yeah.
And,
So
and
let's see
performances haven't been
if the
that great,
season
but-
kicks off in the right way.
Yeah. So we'll see if
That'd be
if
cool.
a change
Nate?
will help him out.
Who you got? As Townsend Bell says, who you got?
Was that Santino Ferrucci I heard?
Oh, wow.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Wow.
You kidding me?
Ferrucci.
Stingray Raw.
Sorry.
Wow.
Hey.
No,
wow,
no,
they
no,
hit
no.
it.
Hey,
Yeah,
no,
all right,
no,
wow.
you didn't hear it. No,
His-
that's not it.
his words.
That's not it.
His
words.
words.
Not it. Just getting a reaction.
Team LN
no.
Motorsport NL Motorsports.
Team L. Yeah, NL. Yeah, there it is. So I would even say you're gonna laugh at this, but it's gonna be young that guy in the Verizon call.
Oh, Will Power. Will has been.
Power.
Will has
He's
been
won champion.
Will has been
Two-time
two-time
IndyCar
But
champ.
you know he's been really quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you know what, Nate? That's a good pick. I like that. And he's had success at St. Pete.
Okay. You got
Yes, and it's not gonna be Scott
Yeah.
McLaughlin.
Scott McLaughlin.
I was just gonna say
Scott
it
McLaughlin.
I know.
because
I was
he
thinking
did
that
win this
too.
last year.
Who?
He did.
Scott.
He sure did.
Did he?
Yeah, he
Yes.
won it. Yeah.
Did he win this?
Yes, he did.
Yes,
Oh,
for sure. He
Was
turns
it-
to like
this
Elio.
was the race he won. Oh, okay.
He's really good at
why
street
did,
circuits,
why did
don't
I
get me
think it
wrong,
was
but-
Alabama? Why did I think it was Birmingham?
Barber.
At Barber?
Yeah, I thought.
No.
Anyways,
No.
I'm gonna go with not Graham Rahal.
Darn.
Watch him win.
Great pick.
Watch him win.
He has won it before
No,
in a crappier car.
I am gonna go with. I'm going with Colton Herta.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm on the
Previous
once again.
winner.
I'm on the Verstappen Herta bandwagon for 2023.
Yeah. No. All good. All good.
Every race,
Right,
every race,
First
who's gonna
round,
win?
every
Herta,
round, yeah.
Verstappen,
Yeah.
Herta, Verstappen.
There's
Okay.
a trend going on, isn't there, with that?
You know what? I think collectively we're all gonna see who the dark horse is.
Yep.
Scott Dixon.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean,
It's not
he's
even.
always
Yeah,
there.
it's just gonna be hilarious if he wins. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go. Well, there we go again.
Well,
Starting in
there's your-
12th position,
There's your
and he
podium.
wins.
There's your champion.
Starts
Yeah.
in 12th and wins the race.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
You know so
who
good
else
about
is
Scott
who else is
Dixon,
there?
man.
It's Ericsson and
Oh,
Who's he?
Pillow. Pillow's there.
Pillow.
And they got one other person. Hold on. I have the who's the other? Oh, wait a minute. No. Hold on.
Isn't
Colin
Lundgaard?
Eilert.
No. It's no. Who is it?
It's not Lundgaard.
This kid. Marcus Armstrong.
Oh, Marcus Armstrong. Yeah,
That's
in the 11.
that all right. So
That
he
is-
could be my honestly
He could really surprise.
rookie of the year.
Who are the rookies?
But he's part-time. No, Stingray Rob, that guy at Juncos, I forget his name. Augustine or something.
Catapino. That kid's not bad. Oh,
He's done 20
I can't
points, though.
wait till
He
when
hasn't
we get
done
to
any
the
open wheel.
when we get to the ovals. There's one pick I got on the ovals.
The Kumasato?
You got it.
Yeah. How did I know?
Love him. Love that guy.
Yeah, he's the man.
All right.
Oh my god.
Anyways, all right.
So wait, I feel like there's another rookie. Stingray Robb, Augustine, Marcus Armstrong.
Is Ferrucci a rookie?
No.
Callum Ilot's not a rookie because he ran last year.
Yep.
No, I'm missing. There's 4 rookies. There's 4 rookies.
Oh, I do have a stat correction, Nate. There are only 32 cars entered for Indy right
at
now.
this point.
32.
Yes, 32. There's still another spot open.
Sage Karam.
Could be.
Sarah's dad tweeted out, if anyone's got a budget, let me know.
Well, Benjamin Peterson in the 55 AJ Foyt car.
Oh, yeah. I don't know who
Forgot
he is.
about him.
Forget about him.
Me neither. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Oops.
Actually, speaking of young drivers, the NXT series,
That's this weekend too?
yes, they'll be there this weekend, but they've also added, Ray said, the Indy Road Course.
Is that on the WEC weekend? I mean, the IMSA weekend?
It's the NASCAR IndyCar weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
So that will be racing there as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Nice.
All right, I'm just doing a quick refresh here just to see, and no news on Lance Stroll yet. All right. Okay. Anyway, just checking. Gone. Just checking. All right. So.
Last bit of F1 news. Spanish GP. They have
the
last chicane.
Yeah,
How could you forget?
Yeah. So we're going to dig into that because I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, me too. Then there was someone that tweeted. There was someone that tweeted a penis idea.
If they're gonna knock that one off, here's the next one they need to knock off. So when you go at Suzuka.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you go up. What's the the R straight? What do they call that? What's that straightaway out back? That they come up.
Oh,
they come out of Spoon. They come out of Spoon, and then they go up.
And
then they go up the hill. What is that? The R30? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, R30.
That back straight. So you come up and then you do that left, and then they go into that stupid chicanes right there. Do away with those. Make the left and just zing it around and go down the straightaway. Come on.
That's gonna be so fast going in the third one.
That'd be fantastic. Just so you know, the first corner there, back in the day when that track opened, it was banked.
I wouldn't be opposed to more banking there.
I love it when they go to Zandvoort.
Yes, I do.
I like that. Plus, we're going to Imola again, so I'm excited.
Yep.
I know people hate it, but I love it.
I do. I like it too. They did announce that they're going to be resizing a lot of the DRS zones.
Oh yeah, that's right. They may do away with some of the DRS zones.
They may do away, and they may add some.
Right.
Because Melbourne is in talks of adding a fourth one.
Fourth one. That'd be fantastic there. So, see, that's a good track for it. I think on Vegas, the entire straightaway is going to be.
Yeah, that's
going to be
that track is.
Yeah.
It's going to be like as long as Baku.
Again, the DRS.
I think it's long
thing. I'm not a fan for it, but I understand its implementation of unique.
I think in some places, like in Brazil, that double DRS zone that's there.
Do without.
That's good. They got to do without.
Well, you either you keep it, but again, like they've said that they're going to address. They're going to resize it so it's not as easy to overtake. I don't mind if they put it there, but don't make it as easy.
Yeah,
because again.
That's why I'm not a fan of push to pass, but push to pass to me is less gimmicky.
Yes,
because it's a strategy thing. You got to figure out when you're going to use it, when you're not going to use it,
and it's use it or lose it.
And use it or lose it. And there's guys that are on the button all day long, and they're out of the button,
Yeah.
So, I will say IndyCar's is ahead on Formula One on that. The DRS zone is just...
and I mean F1 did somewhat have that with the KERS system.
Yeah, but DRS is just a joke.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right. On that note, season kicks off.
That was a lot.
Vegas. Well, there we go. Well, NASCAR in Vegas.
Yes.
But next week, it will be overshadowed by Formula One and IndyCar. So,
Yeah, sure. Okay. F1 maybe. IndyCar possibly. We'll see.
We'll see.
we'll see. All right.
We'll see.
And on that bombshell,
Good night.
Thank you guys for listening to the Red Mist Podcast, hosted by Christian Abbott, Sean Abbott, and Nathan Lavin. It's produced by Christian Abbott, and music is by Alex Zwart and Harrison Tate.